In Glendale, Arizona, at the 2024 NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four, Brandon Costa from Sports Video Group making it an annual tradition to say hi to our friends from UConn. Dave Kaplan, Tim Watson are both here covering what's going on with the men's team. Of course, the women's team is also in the mix over in Cleveland. Gentlemen, thanks so much for taking the time on what I imagine is a pretty busy weekend for y'all.
Always great to see you at the Final Four. We're excited to be back.
So tell us a little bit about, let's zoom out first. Obviously, you have both the men's and the women's team from the UConn program in the Final Four. People here in Glendale, people out in Cleveland to follow Gino, Paige, and the team out there. How is the team approaching? Is it all hands on deck? What do you have to do to cover two teams? It's a good problem to have, but how do you handle it?
Well, it's exciting times. Selection Sunday comes. We're all excited to rally behind both teams. Mm-hmm. Our director of creative and social media for the University for Athletics is Jason Ryder. He's down in Cleveland running point for us there. And Tim Watson we brought on this year directly with the men's basketball team to handle all the needs with the men. So it's exciting. We have 5 to 6 people on both sides, and we're very excited and happy and energized to be part of this once again.
Yeah, no doubt. So obviously we got the chance to talk to you guys last year when you were here and you won the whole thing. When you approach this year's Final Four, obviously there's the added element of now obviously both men's and women's being in this thing. But what, if anything, changed from the plans from last year? Or do you have like a structure and you're like, let's do that again, we know it works?
We've been fortunate that we have great people working here throughout the years, and we grow and grow and grow, and we're better now. And I think the biggest thing we learned from every Final Four, we're fortunate enough last year we were at the Final Four, and what kind of transpired last year we build on. So we're very lucky, we're fortunate. We have great people that do our social media and creative content. So we met as a group. Tim took the lead on the men, Jason took the lead on the women, and everyone follows suit.
Sure. Tim, it's been obviously a fun run leading up to this. You go back to the Big East tournament all the way through the NCAAs. When you reflect on what you all have accomplished so far, I'm sure you're going to create some awesome stuff this weekend, hopefully through Monday. But when you look back on the past few weeks, what stands out to you on maybe some content that you guys are particularly proud of?
I mean, it's hard to pick. The team certainly makes our job a lot easier by how well they play. Easier and harder. It's a lot more work to take care of. But the way the fans interact with our content, the things that people care about, is obviously easier when they're playing as well as they are. I think we're really proud of our long-form series. We've been doing a follow series throughout the season, marching on. The fans responded really positively to. That's partially run by David over here with our UConn Plus platform. We've definitely made a very sort of concerted effort on our social media front to expand volume, incorporate different mediums into posts, including graphics and video, sort of, and multimedia carousels on different platforms and things like that. And being able to work with our talented team of designers on those, win graphics. So many records have been broken by this team. Coach Hurley always says it's, they're making history in a place where it's impossible to make history. And so to have the opportunity to make content that celebrates all of those achievements, the most wins in a single season, winning the Big East tournament for the first time in over a decade, all those things is really special to be a part of.
Sure. I'd like to follow up on that one point. We've been hearing this a lot too, where it seems like there's a bit of a, I don't know if you want to call it a resurgence in long form, but it does seem like the creative side is willing to go that direction. What's it like creating content for that, like at an event like this, when maybe you're normally like, all right, just some quick stuff for social. When you're really building a full long form story, how does that change your approach for what you're shooting, what you're trying to get, like where your head's at when you're acquiring content? Yeah,
it's tough. It's a balance for sure. At any event that you shoot, especially in a situation like this where you're back to back with different events, or from a day to day and week to week basis during the tournament, it can be difficult to keep up with current social needs while at the same time thinking sort of long term about what those bigger narrative pieces are going to look like. But I think having a strong understanding of what the structure of those narrative pieces is going to be, so you can make sure that you're capturing any shot that you might need, any sound that you might need, while at the same time prioritizing in the moment editing as far as personnel, those sorts of resources go. I think that's a tough balance where you have to make sacrifices at times about what you capture and don't capture, but ultimately I feel like we found a good way to get that content out in the near term with our excellent team, and we're definitely lucky to have as many people at all these events as we do, while at the same time leveraging our resources back home and our great creative team on campus as best we can to still be working forward on those long form pieces.
Sure. Now, Dave, you've been fortunate enough to be in at a couple of these now, at least. There's always some school, two of them here this weekend that haven't been here in a long time. Creative teams who have not made it to this point before. If someone, let's say next year, were to get out to this Final Four and it's the first time their school or they themselves have been here, what advice would you give for someone preparing for something of this scope?
I'm fortunate enough, this is my 7th Final Four with the university, and before 2, 3, 4 years ago, there were no social content, no social media teams.
Right.
I think the biggest thing is, and we're fortunate to have someone like Tim, plan, pay attention to detail, get ahead of things, try to anticipate what the coaches want, what the fans want, what our administrators want, and no shortcuts. It's a grind. We're blessed. We're lucky to be here, but our team is 24/7. The phone rings from a coach, an administrator, the fan aspect of it. We just constantly grind. So plan as much as you can, get out ahead of it, and get a little luck and try to win some games.
Right. Well, we won't keep you from the grind anymore. Gentlemen, we thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck with everything this weekend. Thanks so much for taking time for us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks so much to you as well.
Thank you.
All right, for more of everything going on here at the 2024 Men's Basketball Final Four, you can head over to our website at sportsvideo.org.